Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is day 78 of my journey to learn Japanese, and the purpose of this series of live streams is to document my progress at learning Japanese, having started as a complete beginner. Now, it's actually been 3 months since I last studied Japanese, so the goal for today is to revise the material that I've studied previously. Now, as usual, I'm going to be using the Lingo Command website, so let's make a start. So firstly, I'm going to go to the Japanese section over here, and because it's been so long, I'm just going to start with the very basics. I'm going to practice the Japanese writing systems. So we'll start with some basic hiragana. So just to explain what we've got on screen here, we've got a table with all 46 basic hiragana characters, and we can press here to see how these characters are pronounced. And also, if we're interested in the stroke order, so for every hiragana character, there's a specific stroke order. We can click here to get the stroke order diagram. So for the hiragana character a, the first stroke here is horizontal, going from left to right. The second goes from top to bottom, and then the third stroke kind of wraps around here and ends over here. So with that said, I'm going to take the quiz, and I'm going to apply random ordering. What this does is it scrambles the order in which the questions are asked. And this is indeed pretty basic, but the purpose here is to just revise some of this basic material. So this is a, and we'll zoom in here so these characters are a bit more legible. Ni, this is n, su, this is I, this is, I believe, na, mo, this is sa, or is it chi? No, it's sa. And then this is re, ko, se, he, ra, ke, mi, e, ki, tsu. Ah, silly typo here. This should be you. This is ro, ru. And when I've done these 46 characters, I'm going to go to the next step. I'm going to practice writing these, which is substantially harder. Now this is ne. I think it is. Yeah. Okay. Yu, ka. Then this is ho. So ha and ho look very similar, but ho has 2 horizontal stripes here. And then to, chi. Okay, this one is a little bit tricky. I think it's me. No, it's nu. Te, ya, no, ha, ri, mu, hi. Ah, so okay, this is pronounced o, but of course its romaji equivalent is wo. So I should have written that. And then this is nu. No, this is me. So, wa, ta, yo, ma, shi, o. Okay, so that wasn't half bad. I think what I'll do here is maybe I'll do one more round, and let's try and get a 100% here. So this is mi, he, yu, yo, ku, na, to, te, sa, ri, ta, ho. Now, this is nu, ha, hi, re, no, i, ke. Ko, chi, ra, ma, ya, ka, fu, ro, shi, se, mu, su. Okay, so this is wo, pronounced o. That's better. Then this is me, so, a, la, tsu, ki, en, u, ni, mo, o, ru. And then this is ne. Okay, so that's some decent progress here. So this basically was me reading these characters. What I now want to practice is writing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from the romaji and we're going to handwrite, hopefully in the correct stroke order, these 46 basic characters. So let's make a start. So you kind of looks like a fish. It's 2 strokes. And that is spot on, so we'll accept that. And then has this dash, and then it's kind of like a Z. It's also correct, so we'll give that a pass. Perfect. And then we're on to me. So me looks like this. Perfect, so we'll accept that. Ta, so ta is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, sweet. So this was correct, so we'll accept that, and then we're on to mu. So mu is a total of 3 strokes, like so. So that's another match. Fantastic. And then we're on to he. So he is this. It's 1 stroke. It's very simple. And then we're on to u. So I think u. Oh, it's been a while. Is that this? Yeah. Sweet. So we'll accept that and then proceed to the next question. So ya is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we'll accept that. And then we're on to ki. So ki is 1, 2, 3, 4. When you handwrite it, there's a little gap here. This is the 4th stroke. As you can see in this diagram here, whilst this is the typed version where it's only 3 strokes. And then ro. So ro is this. Okay, fantastic. And then se. Okay, so the stroke order for this, I always mess it up. It's could it be 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, so that was correct. I'm just going to cement this, kind of like do a couple of reps. So it's 1. So the first stroke is horizontal, and this is the second, and that's the third. Right? 1, 2, 3. Let's just do one more rep. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. So we'll accept that, and we'll proceed to the next question. Sa, just like ki, has a little gap here for a total of 3 strokes. Okay, and then we're on to ho. So ho is 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes. But let's just write that a little bit more neatly. Okay, that's spot on, so we'll accept that. And then nu. So I think nu is something like this. 1, 2, total of 2 strokes. But the second stroke is quite long. And then we're on to ket. So ket is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's spot on. And then we have he. Okay, so he is 1 stroke like this, very simple. And then te is very simple. It's 1 stroke. It looks like that. And then we're on to net. So net is 1, 2 strokes. Yeah, that's spot on. So we'll accept that and proceed to ra. Ra is 1, 2. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we're on to e. So e is 1, 2 strokes. Let's take a look here. Yeah, that looks good to me. Maybe this should have been a bit more curved, but we'll accept that. And then sol is one stroke, like so. Fantastic. And then ha. So ha looks just like ho. So ho was this, right? For ha, it's the same, but you just do one stroke. And the third stroke here. Sorry, so it's the vertical stroke is the same for ha and ho. And then here, instead of doing 2 horizontal strokes, you just do 1. And then this final stroke, it starts above the horizontal line, like that. Now, fu is it 1, 2? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, it's something like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that first stroke is more diagonal, going from top left to bottom right. 1, 2, 3, 4. But in any case, the first attempt is also legible, so we'll accept that. And then we're on to va. So va is this one. Let's just try and get the shape correct. It's better. It's got a total of 2 strokes, so we'll accept that. And then we're on to ri. So I think ri is something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so there's a handwritten form for the character ri. Let's just try and see hiragana ri handwritten. Yeah, so that second stroke is a lot longer. I'll accept that, actually. And then we're on to mo. So I think this is 1, 2, 3 strokes. But we got the stroke order wrong, so we'll do that as incorrect. So the first stroke is actually that hook shape. Now, tsu is very simple. It's this one. And then na is 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes. Fantastic. And then ma is ma. Ma is 1, 2, 3. Now, I thought that it started here, but it actually starts above the first horizontal line, so we'll classify that as incorrect. Just to be strict. As for the hiragana character me, that's this one. So it's going to be 1, 2. And that's going pretty well so far, so let's just continue. Re, the hiragana character re is 1, 2. Yeah, that's spot on. So we'll accept that and proceed to the next character, which is ru, which is the same as ro, but has a little curl at the end. So accept that. And then chi is 1, 2, 3. Let's try and get the shape right. So it's 1, 2. Yeah, that's pretty spot on, so accept that. And then ka is 1, 2, 3. Or is it 1, 2, 3? I think this is the first stroke, that's the second, and that's the third. Okay, spot on. And then hiragana character for o is like so. It's a total of 3 strokes. Real simple. Now to is this one, consisting of 2 strokes. Real simple. And then no, there we go. Yo is, this is interesting. So we have ya, which is 1, 2, 3. We have yu, which is that one. And yo is that one, if I recall correctly. So it's 1, 2. Fantastic. So we'll accept that, and then we'll proceed to the hiragana for the character o. So this one is kind of tricky. I think it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's actually spot on. So we'll accept that. And then we're on to shi. So the hiragana for shi is this one. And then we're on to ko. Ko. So that's 1, 2, a total of 2 strokes. That's spot on, so we'll accept that. And then ku is very simple, like so. Ni is 1, 2, 3. Su is written like this. And then we've got the hiragana character for n, right? So that's written like so. Let's just try and get the shape just right here. Yeah, that correction that I made was quite nice because, as you can see, this curly part reaches about the same vertical height as this. And then we're left with the very first hiragana character, a, so that's 1, 2, 3. Real simple. Now, I've made, 2 mistakes here. So that's not half bad. I think, what would be nice to do here is let's see if I remember. So which one did I get wrong? I remember getting ma wrong. So ma, where is it? Ma, you would write like this, 1, 2, 3. And then the other one that I got wrong was, so yu was fine, this was fine. Yeah, I think I got the stroke order incorrect for one of these characters. It was for mo. So mo, the first stroke is this. There we go. That's the first stroke, that's the second and third. Okay, so that went pretty well. I think that kind of shows that even after 3 months, these basic hiragana characters kind of stuck in my memory quite nicely. So I think the next step would be, let's do some hiragana with dakuten and handakuten. This should be fairly straightforward. So ge would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. Ga would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 strokes here. So we'll accept that and go on to B. So B is the hiragana character for hi with dakuten. So we'll accept that. Oh, that was really annoying. Accidentally pressed the wrong button. Let's try that again. So we have get. We have ga. B. And then bo would be ho with dakuten. Z would be set, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3 with Dakuten. Let's just check the stroke order real quick. Yeah, that's spot on. Fantastic. So we'll accept that. And then we're going to go on to du, pronounced as zu. So this is something. So okay, so with Dakuten and Han Dakuten, we know T goes to D when you apply Dakuten. So in the cluster of 5 with T, in the T row, you've got Ta, Chi, Tsu, Te, and To. And it's these two that have this du pronounced as zu, D pronounced as G stuff going on. So I think it's I think you write Tsu and you add Dakuten on top. And then we have Go, so that's going to be real simple. That's just Ko with Dakuten. So these are actually kind of inside this shape. What we'll do here is we'll be super strict and put it as incorrect, but that is extremely strict. In any case, so here we're going to put He, and we're not going to put Dakuten, we're going to put Han Dakuten, because Han Dakuten is required for H to go to P. Accept that, and then we're on to Pu. So we would write Fu with Han Dakuten. Da would be Ta with Dakuten. Then we have Te with Dakuten to get De. The Dakuten is kind of inside the curly shape. And then we're on to Bu. So for Bu, you just write Fu, add the Dakuten. And then Ji is Shi with Dakuten. I think S goes to Z. So I think it's Sa becomes Za, Shi becomes Ji, Tsu becomes, wait, this is the S row. So Sa, Shi, Su becomes Zu, Se becomes Ze, and Sol becomes Zol. So it's just a sheet where it turns into G, which is a little bit unusual. Okay, so for Gu, we're just going to write Ku with some Dakuten. The question is, I have a feeling it's inside. I'm starting to get some intuition for when the Dakuten goes in the top right or when it doesn't. And I think it's when there's like this kind of opening, this kind of opening side here on the right. So Su is like this. There's no kind of opening, that makes sense. So you would just put the Dakuten here in the top right corner. But let's just fix the shape a little bit. That's better. Po. So po, you're gonna write ho like so, with some Dakuten. No, that's not quite right. With some Han Dakuten. And then for do, what you're gonna do is you're gonna write to, and there's this opening shape again. So we're just gonna write. We're gonna write Han. No, we're gonna write Dakuten. So T goes to D. That's unfortunate. So despite the opening shape, here it's in the top right corner. So my theory is not exactly infallible. Hiragana do, handwritten. Let's take a look. I see. So it is indeed in the top right corner. Well, in any case, that's legible. We'll accept that. Gi, you're just gonna write ki. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 with some Dakuten to get gi. So we'll accept that, and then we're on to pa. So here you just need to write ha, and then add handakuten, the circle that turns H into P. So accept that. And then we're on to D pronounced G. So T goes to D. So this would be in the T row, which is ta, chi, tsu, te, to. So I think we just need chi. There we go. This is so. We apply dakuten to get so. Fantastic. And then we're on to be. So be is he with dakuten, like so. And then pe is the same thing, right? You just write he, but this time we write han dakuten instead of dakuten. And then ba is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then za is sa, like so. Okay, fantastic. So the one that we got wrong here was go, which was very strict. You know, that was mainly about the placement of the dakuten marks. So this is going fairly well. Now we could cover yun combinations. Sure, let's just do that. Kind of cement everything into our mind. So there are 36 in total. So this is going to be ja pronounced as ya. Okay, so I think it's D pronounced as G plus ya. And then we know that the T row goes to D. And so chi goes to D pronounced as G. So all we really need to do is we need to write chi with dakuten plus a half-sized ya. And that is spot on, so accept that. Then this is more simple. So this is he with yo. The yo needs to be half-sized. And then here we would get ki with a half-sized ya. Let's just try and make this ya a little bit smaller just to make it really clear that it's half-sized. And then we're on to mya. Okay, so that's going to be, this is me. And then the half-sized ya we've got right here. And then we're on to rya. So here we just need to write ri plus a half-sized ya, like so. Let me just try and clean up this shape a little bit. There we go. And then we're on to Q. So here you just write ki. Now one thing to keep in mind actually, so this is ki plus u, right? You might be thinking, why is it not ka? Why is it not ko? Well, it's actually the kana ending in an I for all of these yun combinations. And so given that, that makes it a lot simpler. So as you can see here, this is ki, followed by u. So we'll accept that, and we'll go on to the next question. So this is, let's just remove this radial menu. This is ju. Now we know T goes to D, and chi becomes D pronounced as G. So then if we just stick U at the end, we would get our answer. So it's going to be Chi with Dakuten, followed by a half-sized U. And it's job done. So we'll accept that, and then we're on to Bu. Okay, so here it's a half-sized, it's He followed with Dakuten. This gives us B, and then we just need a half-sized U here. Dual. This would be D pronounced as G. So we're just going to write Chi, apply Dakuten, followed by a half-sized Dual. Fantastic. And then we're on to Gyo. So here we're just going to write Ki. We apply Dakuten, followed by half-sized Dual. Real simple. And we're making good progress, but it looks like there's still quite a bit to go. So let's just keep going. So Hyu is going to be He followed by a half-sized U. And then we get Ni followed by a half-sized U. Ki followed by a half-sized U. And then we have Mi followed by a half-sized U. And then it's Bia, so that's going to be B followed by a half-sized Ya. And then here it's going to be Chi, like so, followed by a half-sized U. And then we've got Cha, so this is Chi. And we need a half-sized Ya for a total of Cha. So we'll submit that. Fantastic. And then we're on to Byo. So this is going to be He with a Dakuten here, followed by half-sized Yo to get this Hiragana Yun combination, pronounced Byo. Here we would need She, followed by a half-sized Yo. Chi followed by a half-sized Yo to get Cho. And then Pia, well, that's just going to be He followed by Handakuten, which is this circle. And then we just need a half-sized Ya. Real simple. And then we've got Pyu, right? So Pyu is going to be He with Handakuten to get Pi, followed by half-sized U. Hya would be He followed by half-sized Ya. There we go. 1, 2. Looks like we're just past halfway. Okay, so this is Ri, followed by a half-sized Yo to get the Yun combination Ryo. And then we have Kya, so we just need we need Ki with Dakuten, and then we just need a half-sized Ya. So that's 1, 2. That's something to kind of keep in mind for this shape of the Ya, because I was like, oh, why does this look better than normal? And I think it's because I'm stopping on the kind of U-turn here on the first stroke quite early. So that looks a lot better. And then we need Ni with a half-sized Yo, like so. And then here we're just going to have Shi with Dakuten to get Ji, followed by a half-sized U to get Ju. Shu here would be shi followed by half-sized yu. And then yo would be shi with dakuten to get ji followed by a half-sized yo. And the end is in sight here, so we just need a shi followed by half-sized ya. And then here I'm just kind of going to stop on the way back here. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. And then here we have the hiragana character ni followed by half-sized ya. Great. Myo. So that's going to be mi with yo for a total of myo. Okay. Sweet. And then we need ki followed by a half-sized yo, like so. And then we have ri followed by a half-sized yu, like so. It's looking good. I'm getting an error message here talking about YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. That's not good. It says open widget for stream health. Okay, well, let's just keep going. Hopefully that is not too bothersome. So here we have hi. We're going to use handakuten to make this pi followed by a half-sized yo. Fantastic. And then finally we've got shi followed by a half-sized ya. Like so. Fantastic. So that's all concepts for hiragana covered quite nicely. So that's great news. Such a shame about this, maintaining this smooth streaming. Let me try one thing. Okay, so let's see if this improves things a little bit.